Hey guys, welcome back to Super Switch U. I'm sure you're probably wondering by this point where Let's Play Tabletop is for today. And to that, I gotta say, things are about to change with the channel. I think I finally settled on something that I think works better for my very inconsistent schedule, and it's the fact that having 3 weekly series being dedicated to having a new one every single time, every week, it was exhausting. It was exhausting, and I was starting to kind of lose the fun of the channel by like always having to have these. Like it felt like work to do the same thing every single week, day in, day out. Uh, which I mean, I recorded these in advance, usually somewhere between Thursday and Saturday. I would record for the following week. But there are some things that I needed certain shows to either have a break or just not require something every single time. So I could kind of tweak how these things were being done and how stuff is getting recorded. And I'm wanting to redo the whole way I'm doing Let's Play Tabletop anyway. Right now, I'm recording it on my phone, and then I'm putting that footage onto the computer, and then I'm slapping it together. And sometimes I remember my little, well, right there. Yeah, that's it. Everything's backwards for me. But yeah, so the little uh, watermark basically, our logo. I'd have to slap that in. Sometimes it would get in, sometimes it wouldn't. I used to do one for the Let's Play Tabletop series and stick it right there. That's also not getting stuck in at all this season, which is a little disappointing. But you know what? I don't actually think I need that one if I've got this one. So there's that. But also, if I can set this up correctly, I might be able to have maybe 2 cameras going, like a USB camera to cover the actual footage of the games being played in tabletop mode, and then actually getting to like have myself included in the video every time. And just be able to do more fun stuff with it while recording, because that's how awesome OBS Studio is that I can do a lot of this stuff, and I can make changes on the fly and like throw up images immediately instead of having to go back in and post and trying to get it all stuck the way I want it to. Like, so much better this way. Um, there's just stuff like that. And under 60 gaming, the next episode I want to do, I'm not ready for. It's Mario Tennis Fever. I want to try to do that, even though I think technically it's a little out of the range. But I'm going to give it a shot anyway. But I want to beat it first. I want to actually take the time and complete at my leisure to be able to read the cutscenes and enjoy the story mode, what little bit there is, and then rush through it. And I haven't gotten a chance to do that. Now there's Procopia and all this other stuff, and so yeah, it's hard to find time when every single week has to be done. Which is why we're going to change it. We're going to just shuffle the whole thing up, and I think this ultimate way I've decided might work the best. That way, things like top 10 videos and news and opinions and stuff do not get pushed to the side so we can do the weekly series. So, without beating around the bush anymore, I'm gonna try to explain this where it makes some sense, right? So there will always be 3 videos minimum per week. I will still go ahead and do that every time. What we'll do is there's going to be a video on Tuesday, a video on Thursday, and a video on Saturday. Now, what videos? That's where it's going to be changed up. I'm not going to dedicate it to anything, right? I want every single day to be a grab bag. Just whatever I decide or feel like doing, so it doesn't feel like work. That's what I'll do for the week. And I'll have title cards at the beginning of the videos. If you happen to not catch the title, you're just like, oh, new video, and you click it. It's fine. We won't just throw you into the dark. We're just gonna everything's gonna kind of be treated like its own series. It's gonna be a playlist for every type of video, and then anything that doesn't fall into one of these categories is just gonna be generic Super Switch U, and it'll go right into the Super Switch U uh, playlist. But with everything else, let me go ahead and get this pulled up here because I want to go through it with you guys. Okay. So I've created probably all, but at least most of my series title cards. So we'll have the actual thing clipped together, and then we'll. You know what? Hold on. I don't really like this. This is where the OBS Studio really comes in handy. It's like I could just go ahead and I could bring myself back up and then pull me down. There, and then I could just be part of this with you guys. Okay. And then we want this back up. Okay. There we go. So it'll still have the logo and the Joy-Con smacking them in the head, and it'll, all the like, the subscribe, bell, and then it'll have a flash of the title card for whatever it is. So the top 10s, which I mean, it's basically the simplest title I could ever give these, is just KJ's top 10 list. It's my top 10. But this part's never going to be seen. It's going to just be whatever console we're doing. That's what's going to be in that center picture. It's going to continue to be the same, but the title card has to have something in it. So there you go. That's how you know we're doing a top 10. Then we also have just the standard ones. Let's Play Tabletop Season 5. We're just going to continue it through the year. 2026 is going to be Season 5. And when we do our last episode for the year, that's the end of Season 5. That way I don't have to stop it. I don't like the idea of stopping it, because we're going to have some really good games probably come out in like the summertime and fall holiday season. So I wanted to keep going. So we're going to do that. So it's still going to happen. And some of these are going to be sponsored still. Like Best Buy still sponsors the channel. So Let's Play Tabletop is probably one of the best things they could do. So we're gonna continue having them be sponsored for that series. And things like the top 10 do not currently have sponsors, but if a sponsor appears, as far as like, if I just get a sponsor, I don't know where to stick them, I might just throw them on something. Or if it makes sense to the series, then they'll be the sponsor for it, and we'll just go from there. And the thing I wanted to explore and haven't gotten a chance to, Let's Play Tabletop. Kind of combine Let's Play Tabletop with Super Switch Tots, but instead of doing the age rating and accessibility and whatever, it's literally just going to be tabletop mode for children's games. That's it. Same basic idea, but that way I can separate the advanced, pro, expert, adult gamers, and I can separate out the kid games and the easier stuff, whatever. So that way, if you don't like seeing stuff like Paw Patrol, Gigantosaurus, JoJo Siwa, don't watch Let's Play Tots or Tabletots. Stick to Let's Play Tabletop. That one's going to just be more of your standard Marios, your Zeldas. If a Resident Evil happens or something like that, Cyberpunk will eventually get one, because I think I still have been pushing that one off. So that kind of stuff. So this way, I could separate the two content, and it's just something I was wanting to do for a while. And it may end up with the sponsored by Outright Games. I don't know. We'll figure that out later. Reviews, because I've got one for Ben 10 I've been just really needing to do, and it just never felt like I had the time. But now that none of this actually specifically matters, we could just throw this in wherever. We could do it on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. If I decide to do a Monday or a Wednesday, Friday video, we'll do that too. I still will probably try to leave most Sundays open, but if I have something that falls off of the weekly schedule, but like it's done, it's there, and it doesn't really make sense in the week. And I do have one of those because this whole change is going to happen on Monday, so there won't be a under 60 gaming for Monday, but yet there's going to be a video tomorrow on Sunday, and that's just one that fell off this week. I recorded it and it was supposed to go up for like Monday or Tuesday, and then Pokopia happened and some other stuff happened, and so like the whole week ended up being like just a video every single day, and I didn't have a spot for it. So we got a Sunday video that's going to still claim that we have the weekly series, and we don't have the weekly series. So like if you watch this video, please keep in mind that's not accurate anymore. But I've already recorded this, so it's just going to be there. But reviews, good to go back to what I was trying to say instead of getting ahead of myself. I want to go back and review all the games that I complete, and like I need to do a whole Yooka-Replay review. I need to do Ben 10 2017. I don't think I ever got Donkey Kong out because when I went to record that, Joey was born. So I ended up getting stopped mid-recording to, hey, you need to get over here and quick. And yeah, so there was a few scares that week, and then he was just here. So it never got done. But we're going to go back to those reviews and stuff. Super Switch U News is going to be its own separate thing. It's going to have a title card. And these will be the only thing that could potentially fall outside of the Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday schedule. If something awesome drops, I'm just throwing a news out there. But, you know, now it can finally feel like I can just talk about this stuff. Like, if there's anything in the week that I actually find interesting, I can just make the next video the news one. And I don't have to like specifically set these things. That's what's even better, right? It's like I could record some stuff for the week and then change my mind, put a different thing in, like a news, put it in there. As long as I don't date it myself by being like, oh, you know, like this is coming and this is coming. If I don't say anything about date, I could push it to the next open slot for a video, and I feel like this is going to just absolutely work better. Hopefully you guys don't hate it. Super Switch Tots is still going to happen. It's not going to be Wednesday. This way, I feel like every single week I was burning through Outright Games' titles. There was like 60 something in total that wasn't on the delisted list. So of the things I could get, I already had more, I want to say more than half of their whole library already downloaded onto the Switch 2. And then of that, there's only so many that fall into the Super Switch Tots, which, I mean, I didn't do every single week. It was not a Outright Games title. We did Big Journey, we did Mario Kart World, and there's other games that we can explore too. Just doing it every week, I felt like I was throwing a lot more of their games into it because, I mean, I wanted to do a game from them every single week to move up the ambassador list, to do other cool stuff, and yeah, we were running out of things until they released their stuff probably at the end of the year, but I don't have any dates. Like, I just know looking back at everything they've ever released, it seems like they started about August and released through November. So this is a long time from now to be sitting there burning through it every single time. Throwback Thursday is something that last Thursday I had one, which the WarioWare dub was not even supposed to be the first one. This Sushi Striker was supposed to be the first one. And I have a shorts version of it that I created. I went ahead and played around with it and changed where the focus was. It's almost like a whole new video at that point. But it's going to go up next week. And it's just going to kind of do its own thing. But these obviously would have to be Thursdays. But Thursdays without new Nintendo titles coming out on those days to unbox. So, that kind of helps not burn through every video I've ever done before Super Switch U, anything that I want to bring back. This can only happen for so long. At some point, it's just going to end up being pulling from the Super Switch U library, and there really isn't much of a reason for any of that. Because if I've already done it here, like most of you guys have seen it, you can actually look through only going back to April of 2025 is when we changed it all over. So this won't be a forever thing. It'll be a, just picking and choosing my old content and throwing it in every so often. So it'll help spread it out some, is what I'm trying to get at there. Unboxing and gameplay has a logo now, so that's something. I hand drew the box. I found a nice pixel text font and played with coloring on it, and then I also drew my little shiny lines there and the question marks inside the empty cases. But the actual boxes are just regular PNGs of box art. But I mean, this is probably going to be primarily Thursdays. Could sneak one in on a Friday. But if I pick up a game randomly here or there, I may just record it and let it pop over to the next day, whatever Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday it shows up first. But I mean, it'll still be new to you guys. If it's not a brand new release. If it's a brand new release, I'm going to catch it on the day. We're just going to throw this on there, and then there we go. And Under 60 Gaming is going to be the same, still sponsored by Dubby, because we're still sponsored by Dubby. And if you haven't checked them out yet, please do. Use the promo code SuperSwitchU and save 10%. 10% comes back to us. But it's an awesome energy drink. And again, I only push it because I use it in my daily life. Usually about 5 times a week I'm drinking one. But that's the thing, I'm not getting the shakes. Celsius, it took 3 a week for 4 weeks straight, and then it was not good. But anyway, it's the only plug I'll do there. But Under 60 Gaming is still going to be here. It doesn't have to be Mondays. It could be any day of the week now. We're just going to do those as I have time. And that was another thing, is I was kind of burning through my original list that I had looked up of what should be possible, and I still got to find more things and get more games that might be doable in that time frame. So this will just give me a chance to slowly work on that list as I add to the list, and so we could just keep it going on however long we decide to keep it going on for. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's all the title cards that I've actually got at the moment. But anyway, so that's kind of the idea, and that's what we're going to play with for a while. That way, I can just pick a type of video, pick a title card, throw it in there, and then you guys have something new and interesting to watch, and we're not getting stale by just doing the same 3 things. And if you're not a fan of those 3 series, you don't have to feel left out anymore, right? If you were just here for the news and opinion videos, if you like the top 10s, I would say the game's ported over to Switch, but unfortunately, that is a little harder to do anymore. It seems like every other day there's another 5 games for each, whatever console I'm looking at is going to get more added to it. So the Sega Genesis thing, it's not even accurate anymore. Because now we've got the Disney Afternoon collection. We've got the Ren and Stimpy had one come out recently. And I feel like there was something else. I don't know. But it's so hard to keep track of anything past like 2 generations ago. Now I've been kind of throwing back and forth the idea of doing one for 3DS on North America's anniversary date, which is the 27th, and it's my sister's birthday. So I would absolutely have to record that one in advance, but I feel like even that library is not safe. Like something's gonna come along, and I'm gonna be inaccurate again. But we'll see what I can come up with. But if I do that, that might be the last one for a while, because both the Switch and the Switch 2 libraries are still growing, because both consoles are still alive. And I'd have a better shot at doing the Wii U games, like porting games to the Wii U, than I would try to do the Switch, because nothing's getting added to that. But man, it takes a lot to do those videos, so we probably won't do those. But something I do want to start working on, and I don't have a title for a series to call it or whatever, and I don't have any kind of fancy title card for it. But I was wanting to go through and just do all the retro games, like the stuff ported to the Switch and Switch 2, just playing them on the channel. Like maybe not all the way through, but something where we can start to cover those games by actually seeing them played on the system versus just talking about what's here, right? So one thought is that I could just do a randomizer to pick a system, and then from that system pick a game out of a list, and then just play that, and just keep that going every week. I've also thought about like having you guys vote on a system the week before I go to do it, and then just pick a game from it. I don't know. I'm still workshopping that idea, so that's something maybe to look forward to, but not something that we're ready for at this point. But I think that covers what I was really trying to say. Is that I needed to not be so consistent every single week. I need a chance to just do my own thing at this point, and I feel like you guys might enjoy it better if I'm enjoying it more and I'm not forcing myself to do these. Because like Super Switch Tots was feeling forced for a while. I wasn't playing all the games that I wanted to play in that, and I was like, wow, I gotta get something out, so I gotta pick something that I haven't done yet. And most weeks it's gotta be an Outright Games title, which they don't make bad games very often. But some of the stuff, like the Ryan's Rescue Team, Race with Ryan games, like I have no interest. Coco Melon and Dora the Explorer and that stuff. But eventually I'm going to have to cover it. So we're going to sit through it. But if I could keep everything else fresh, maybe I can come at that with fresh eyes and try to keep it a little bit more fun than we have been. So I'm sorry if some of those felt forced. That's where I was, and it's so awful because I only started this at the beginning of January and had the 3 series going, January and February, and now we're just barely into March, and I'm so burnt out on it. It's unreal how much of a burden that kind of thing becomes. So I think what I would rather do is not end any of the series for a season or whatever, but instead just, maybe you might see it every other week or every third week. We're not going to kill anything off. We're just gonna wing it. We're just gonna wing it. And like I said, then I can maybe even just have some stuff backlogged, right? Because part of the Throwback Thursdays, it's one, so you guys that are joining now can see some of the fun content from before. That because like the skits and stuff, I don't have a team of people to go out there and film a thing. I wish I did, because there's some stuff that I could really do if I had somebody to work the camera and like one or two other people to do these things with. But no, the closest friend is a couple miles that way, and he's not great with the camera, and he absolutely does not want to be on camera. And so I'm not going to force him. The one that might do it is 2 towns over and has no driver's license, so I have to go pick him up every time. I can't do that either. And he's spending more time these days hanging out with my brother than he is with me. I don't know why. They work together now, so I guess they're best friends. So it's fine. So yeah, so that kind of stuff I want to bring back, but also I could just backlog that, and I could just throw that in on a Thursday and spend more time focusing on stuff that takes more than a few hours in the morning on Friday or Saturday. Some of the stuff I need time to do to make them better. So with that, yeah. I think I've pretty much said it, right? Like that makes sense to you guys, right? And if it doesn't, please let me know in the comment section. Or if you like the idea, and just like every video release day being just a surprise, like what comes out today, who knows? It could be Super Switch Tots, it could be Under 60 Gaming, it could be a top 10, it could just even be a news video of something you didn't know was going on. Like I think the grab bag idea is a lot better than dragging me into the pits of despair even further. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. If you hate the idea, and there's enough of you guys that just hate the idea, we'll find a way to go back, and maybe I'll just do the like 2 series at a time and switch it off when the seasons end. But I don't know. Hopefully there's not too much backlash. Hopefully you guys kind of understand where I'm coming from, and maybe are excited by the idea that it could be anything. So, like I said, it's very, very important to this one that you guys let me know. And if there's anything you want to see, seriously, if there's a game that you want me to check out or to cover in a specific type of series, if there's a type of video that you're really wanting to see and it's not getting done, let me know, right? I can always try to work something in more if I know that there's actually want for that series, there's that type of video. So just feedback, guys. Feedback in the comment section helps. And if you like the video, if you like the changes, hit that like button. That helps too. Subscribe, because we are crawling our way to 1,000. Finally got up to 728, and so like I'm stoked. Like we are so close, and we just keep working on that. Maybe by the end of the year we can actually hit that 1,000 subscriber goal. And if you have subscribed, hit the bell notification button. That way you don't have to think about how I'm changing this up. It'll just tell you every time a video goes up, and you'll know exactly when it is, what it is, and if you want to watch it, that's you can decide from there. Yeah, with that, I think that's everything I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.